Hey, what's happening, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday wherever you are. Today we're doing one of the best low-carb keto mug cakes we've ever done on the channel. And I don't say that lightly because we've done a lot of really delicious mug cakes, and we've made a lot of mug cakes, throughout the course of this channel's existence. But today, this Oreo keto mug cake, it is like a next level of deliciousness. I was out on a jog, and for whatever reason, this idea to make this mug cake came into my brain, and I'm so happy that it did because the results are incredible. Actually, I tried dipping it in a glass of milk. I know that sounds weird, dipping cake in milk, but let me tell you, you can't fit the whole mug cake in a glass of milk. It's too big. But if you cut it in half and dip it in milk, you would swear you were eating an Oreo. In cake form, of course, because it's not a cookie. That said, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the good stuff, and I will show you how to make a keto Oreo mug cake.
All right, so the first thing we want to do is make the cream. And to do that, we're going to add about a tablespoon or 14 grams of butter to a medium-sized bowl, along with about a teaspoon or 4 grams of coconut oil. Then, once we've added those, we'll just want to melt them quickly in our microwave. Now, once those ingredients have melted, we'll also want to add a half a tablespoon or 7 grams of almond milk to the mix, as well as 3 heaping tablespoons or 30 grams of confectioner's swerve. And if you don't know, adding this is what's going to help us sweeten up the cream for our keto mug cake without adding any calories or net carbs. Anyways, once we've added the swerve, we're going to give all of our ingredients a good mix until they combine, and then we're going to set them aside. So now we're going to start making the cake part to our Oreo keto mug cake. And to do that, we're going to add a half a tablespoon or 7 grams of butter. And then again, just like before, want to melt that down in our microwave. Once it's melted, we're going to add a large egg followed by a quarter teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to mix those together until well combined. Now, at this point, we're going to start adding the dry ingredients for our keto mug cake, and the first of which is going to be a quarter cup or 28 grams of almond flour. Then, just like we sweetened up the cream, we're going to sweeten up the cake by adding 2 heaping tablespoons or 20 grams of confectioner's swerve. Of course, we'll also need to add a little chocolate flavor to the mix, and a tablespoon or 5 grams of unsweetened dark cocoa powder will do the trick. Lastly, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of baking powder to make this mug cake rise a little bit, and then we're going to mix everything together until a thick chocolate batter like this forms. So once it does, we're going to coat an 8-ounce ramekin with some baking spray and add all of that delicious keto chocolate cake batter to the dish. Also, when we've got that in there, we want to make sure that it's evenly distributed throughout the ramekin before cooking it. Speaking of cooking the mug cake, I like to cook it for 30 seconds and then check on it, see how it's doing, and then cook it for another 15 seconds. That said, slightly underdone mug cakes are always better than overdone mug cakes, so just keep that in mind while you're cooking yours. Anyways, once it's done cooking, you'll want to let the cake cool down for a couple of minutes, and then once it's cooled, we're going to run a knife along the edge of the mug cake so we can easily pop it out of the ramekin, as I'm doing here. Then once we've got our cake free, we're going to cut it in half and invert it so that the ugly parts end up on the inside of our Oreo cake. Also, this is the time when we can add the cream filling to the middle of our cake and then top it with the other half of our chocolate mug cake. And there you have it. That is how to make an Oreo keto mug cake. As always, for more info on today's mug cake recipe, check out the video description below, and I hope you enjoy it.